entrance to the blue corner, Jacob Robinson. Making his way to the red corner, Chase Williams. This bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Josh Stewart, your referee. Fighting out of the blue corner, representing Triumph MMA, weighing in at 170 pounds even, with a record of 1 win and 1 loss, from Indianapolis, Indiana, Jacob Robinson. And fighting out of the red corner, he is a wrestler representing Vortex Martial Arts, weighing in at 170 pounds even, making his his MMA debut this evening from Bloomington, Indiana, Chase Williams.
Striker versus grappler matchup right here. Debut for Chase Williams. Jacob Robinson has 2 fights underneath of his belt. And Jake, like we talked, Vortex is really known as a jiu-jitsu type school. So I'm going to guess, don't know off the top of my head, but I'm going to guess that Chase's game plan is going to try to get it to the ground.
Yeah, I agree with that. Mick has a lot of tough guys over there, though. Really tough grapplers. They like to push the pace a lot. I think he's going to stay in his face, try to break him with that pace. Good wrestling background as well, so really excited to see how this fight goes.
Just so everybody knows, we're on kind of a real quick break. We're waiting for the commissioner, Carson, to come back cage side. You can't have a sanctioned fight without a commissioner cage side. So we ran to the back real quick, and these guys are just going to have to step back and forth and stare at each other. Sean, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation like this where you have a little bit of a delay.
Iced them. Got iced. Not preferred, but
I'll tell you, one time back in the day, we were fighting in the Terre Haute Armory, and Dave McManus stomped in the cage and broke the bottom of the cage and had to stay in there for the next 35 minutes as they tried to repair the cage.
Oh my
So
goodness.
neither fighter could leave. Here we go.
All right, let's do this!
A lot of movement from Chase. Good catch. Good catch and kick. Jacobs really wanting to keep this standing. There's the
Nice
shot.
sprawl.
Good sprawl. Still got that single. Gonna try to turn on it. Grabbing the cage.
Yep.
Good knee to the quad. Now, Jake, talk us through a little wrestling right here, a little cage wrestling. As you have your hands clasped up, or you're trying to keep your hands clasped up to get somebody away from the cage.
Yeah, so if you're going to keep him up against the cage and use that underhook there, which he was doing, you'd like to see some good knee strikes in that position there. It looks like we had a low blow.
The referee is not calling that a low blow.
No.
We're going to fight on.
Yeah, going back to that, if he were to pin him up against the cage, use those knees, use it for, a knee pick or an ankle pick to get him down. Otherwise, try to circle out with it and get that knee pick, take him away from the cage so you end up in more of a dominant position inside control.
Good push kick by Chase, or by Jacob, excuse me. Good right hand by Chase over the top, and a clinch. It takes him down. Chase works up to his feet. He's tough. Good knee. Good right hand. Left and right stun Chase. Has an over-under. Chase really needs to circle Jacob back to the cage. Jacob's really comfortable staying at boxing range.
He looks very calm, very collective.
Over the top with a check left hook. Good kick by Chase. Switches stances.
hook lands again.
Jacob catches a right hand coming inside. Ten seconds left in the round. Pretty solid even round going, finishing that up. I would like to see Chase kind of stay. He is the longer fighter. Use your range. I mean, we've now noticed at the end that Jake's really comfortable of just kind of staying in that boxing, kickboxing range. Obviously, Chase Williams wants to get this fight to the ground, but use that length. Use the double jab right hand. You don't have to be super wild, but we see that we're getting into those clinches game. We're getting into that dirty boxing type style. So, Sean and Jake, I'll let you guys take over, but when you get inside, how pivotal is it to have good head control and good over-unders?
It's very important. And Chase got in, he had double unders. His head positioning, his hips were a little bit off. He was coming up a little bit too high and ended up rolling himself to his back.
Yeah, I'd like to see Chase set up those shots a little bit better too. A couple times that he did shoot in, it's pretty far away. I'd like to see him throw some punches, get more of a reaction out of Jacob before he takes that shot in.
This is going to be tough now because Jacob's kind of finding his pace. He's being really patient, being wary of that shot. So it'll be an interesting second round.
Here we go for the start of round two. Jacob comes out with an inside switch kick. Big overhand right by Chase. Jacob changes levels, and we're in that clinch game.
Nice punches off the break.
Chase is very straight up and down.
I'd like to see him set up those kicks too instead of just kicking blind there.
So yeah, this action right now, just start pumping the jab. Don't just stand there and kind of mirror each other. Give, not even action, but give your opponent something to look at. Push kick. Kind of turn this into a straight kickboxing match.
Yeah, and I think Jacob's very comfortable with that. That's where he wants it to be, right? So this is definitely his game right now.
Yeah, and this is obviously Chase's first fight also, where Jacob has had 2 fights. So you would expect him to be a little bit more calm than Chase's. Chase is still standing very straight up in the air. I would say if Jacob had a little bit of wrestling, changing levels, good whizzer.
Chase content to strike here, though. Not really pushing for the takedown anymore.
Nope. Starting to lower his, there's the shot, but like you said, Jake, from really far out, can he get the turn? Good stuff by Jacob.
Very good stuff. And you know, that is exhausting.
It takes a lot out, and you can kind of see it on Chase's face. Yeah. Can Jacob capitalize now?
It is it's a very tiring thing, both physically and mentally. When you take a shot like that and you do so much to drive and to finish, and it's not there, right? So definitely would like to see some setups, some more angles off of him too, definitely.
Big breath from Chase as he backs up. Chase needs to start working his jab. Start backing Jacob up. Jacob's comfortable in the pocket with a left hook. If you're 0-2 on the shot, would you mind faking a shot, maybe coming over the top?
Yeah, faking that shot, coming up with an uppercut, right? Mixing it up, right? Because right now Jacob is really comfortable where this is.
Like Sean pointed out during the kickboxing matches, we didn't see one feint. Everyone's throwing to throw.
If I'm Chase, I'm not winning these exchanges. I'm still pushing for that takedown.
Yep. He has to cut him off. He can't circle him around. We're 10 seconds left in the second round.
Or even if you can't get the takedown here, being the bigger guy, right? Walking him down. Like
big trip out. He lands in mount. That may have stolen the round. That's 2 tough rounds to score going into the third and final.
You'd like to see more of that, right? That over-under was beautiful there. Even if you can't get the takedown, if he could get him up against the cage, you know, Chase looks like he's the bigger guy. get him up against the cage and be able to, you know, cause some damage there, wear on him, lay on him a little bit.
With Chase being the bigger guy, but he's standing so tall that as he closes the distance, Jacob just changes levels. We know that by now in the round 3, he's not going to really shoot for a takedown, but he's able to clinch and stop all of Chase's momentum. So if you can stay at the tip of your jab and your cross, you know, don't close your distance. Try to keep at the very end of your punch and move around. Don't chase, because now we're just going to move in circles. Try to cut your opponent off and back them into the cage. Put them in a bad spot. Third and final round. Close fight.
Third and final round. Make some noise, fight fans!
Hook kick from Jacob. Jab cross, changes levels. Here comes that over-under throw. Jacob's changing levels with his strikes, so I'd love to see that. Especially as we've gone on. If you see Chase's hands, they've gone from high guard to now they were below the chin, and now they're about chest level.
He's throwing that low 1-2 and then coming over the top with that hook. I'd like to see that some more.
Well, I'm Jacob. I'm looking for that straight right counter. Boom! Way to change levels. Cross to the body, hook up top. Boxing 101.
Seen some really good movement out of Jacob. A little bit too much just forward and back with Chase, standing straight up in the air.
I mean, it's round 3 and you're about halfway through the round. Chase, I think, needs to pick up the pressure and pick up the intensity just a little bit more. If I'm scoring the round, it's got to be more. Exactly, it's got to be more for Jacob. He's putting the pressure on. Chase has his hands grasped together. Break, and we're back in the center. Chase is looking for that big right hand. Not going to find it. Big trip. Big throws. Got to come up. Jacob comes up on top. Whoa, good knee on the stand. Got to start working forward. You got 1 minute left. If I'm Chase, this is where I got to dig deep. I got to put that pressure on. I got to keep walking forward. The more I step back, the worse it becomes.
This is still anybody's fight. I think whoever can finish this last 40 seconds aggressive could pull it out here.
I would like to see a double jab out of Chase, not just the 1-2. Get a double pump, find that right hand. 30 seconds remaining in the round. Trading back and forth. Changes levels again, Jacob. It's a good combination. It's been working for him. 10 seconds, got to keep that pressure on. Big spinning wheel kick.
Good fight.
Good fight. Hard to judge. Back and forth.
Tough guys, definitely.
Both kind of equaled each other out. Neither you couldn't wrestle, and the boxing was almost even. I'd like to give the edge to Jacob Robinson. I think he landed more of the power shots. I think he controlled a little bit more. And when the fight got to the ground, he was in the more dominant positions.
I think so too. I think Jacob did a really good job stuffing the takedowns, staying busy enough. Those leg kicks, definitely in the end of the third, you could tell they were doing some good damage there. Tough fight. Props to both guys. Impressed with Jacob on that one, though.
Chase looks like he's going to be a tough fighter in the future, for sure. Get the first one under your belt, out of the way. You know, amateur fighting, born into losing. It's about experience. It's not about wins and losses. So this is just the first of many for Chase Williams.
Go up to Brady L. Davis to make this fight official.
Ladies and gentlemen, again we go to the judges' scorecards for your official decision. Judges number 1 and 2 score the bout 29-28. Judge number 3 scores the bout 30-27. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Jacob Robinson. Moving right along, here we go, making his entrance to the blue corner, Jonathan Fasano.